Tom, Andy has, let's say a bit of experience working with characters that are essentially two characters in the same body. Was that something that factored a lot into the decision to ask him to come and do this?
Huge, yeah, huge, because we'd done the first one, and it was a great experience in, in many ways. And as soon as we got it over the line and we greenlit on the second one, the requests started to go out to the studio of optionality and opportunities of what we could do with it, learning from the lessons that we had from the feedback off the first. And so it's largely, my department is performance based and story based. The two things have to line up. Let's make a really great story, i.e., what's the story we can tell, and let's get some really great storytellers in, and who else, is the hybrid of both the ability to direct, epic work, but at the same time has arguably, and I've said it before, and it sounds sad, but it's true, arguably one of the greatest character actors of certainly of my generation. Do you know what I mean? Who does this literally as his bread and butter? So also I have a shorthand with, I can talk to him and say, hey, look, I'm already doing okay with this bit, but how do I progress that bit? Or how do we, move this around? Not just necessarily with animation or CGI or motion capture, but as an actor. It's a really particular language that we speak. And so when you speak with somebody who has the elasticity and ability and range and is not intimidated by the concept and can see what someone's reaching for, it's a much quicker shorthand, so you move faster. So it's a super no-brainer.
But that is very generous of you, Tom. But I mean, I have to come back at that by saying Tom so understands, and the nature of it, the very fiber of how to do this anyway. So I was just lucky enough to watch what was going on. Basically, the way that he crafted this character was on a daily basis, pure an exercise in great acting and reacting, and no, quite seriously, and the ability to form that relationship between the two characters in his head, and then when it manifests was sublime. It really was truly sublime. So I was the lucky one there.
We had fun.
We did.
We knew it was going to be fun because we're both bonkers like that, I guess. and keen for the experience, an investigation.
Yeah.
Well, what's fun about this, I think bonkers is a great word, because what's really fun about these movies is just the idea that you can go do these bonkers things. And Venom is one of the most popular comics characters in the world. And the opportunity to bring Carnage to the screen for the very first time, and Andy to be at the helm of that must have been very exciting for you.
It really was. I mean, to have Tom at the center of it all, and then to bring in Woody and as Cletus, and that energy and his own fantastic, sort of off-center, off-kilter, as even just as Cletus, and then on top of that, to have his input into creating, well, all of our inputs, but because it was a very collaborative exercise, but to creating this thing that was a really dangerous, witty, sophisticated but twisted nemesis that you just can't kind of grab literally, because the way that he moves physically is so slippery and left field. That came out of the comics. We did a lot of studies into how Carnage moves, how to making different. And
everybody wants to see Carnage. Carnage is that's what they if obviously the Spider-Man thing is the Spider-Man thing, but within the world of symbiotes, Carnage is the reveal. We had such pressure on Sheena and the team there, and with Andy to deliver a nemesis, like you say, which people who don't know will enjoy, who don't know the Venom comics will go, whoa. And those who do know will recognize or see the manifestation of a lot of their passion for the character in it. And I think Woody delivers on a level which is, he's deliciously wicked, and a brilliant actor. Yeah, perfect.
I mean, to act with him is always such an amazing joy, isn't it?
And easy.
Yeah. He's a brilliant team player as well. He's fantastic. He's awesome.
as expected. Now, I mean, Carnage is an incredible character for this movie. But how do you go bigger for Venom 3? Tom, who do you bring in for the next one?
I think I think you've got to always look at, like, any with these things, they come in threes at the moment. And if they progress further, then it's normally the initial blocking of the infrastructure of a set of franchise movies will be 1, 2, and 3 and done. So when Venom 1 was presented, it was presented if it was successful with a 2, and if that was successful with a 3. So one has to look at the whole overarching option of, first you establish a character. If people like it, then you take them on a journey. Obviously, Carnage is, you know, he's a high priest in that aspect of in the arcana of the characters. It's like, wow, well, you got to go bigger, you know, or you go lateral and build the world. You continue to unpack. There's a Venom-Verse, you know, there's a Spider-Verse, there's multiverses, there's all kinds of canon and lore and mythology to explore, both laterally and forward in time. And I think with the right people and the right planning and feedback from the audience and understanding it's about making the right choices at the right time, even with foresight of understanding where things may go already or may wish to go. It's a combination of all of those and the alchemy of what it will be.